Jumbo from the Kenyan Coast. So we are wrapping up our 2+ week adventure in Kenya, and you can hear the waves and see the beach right behind us. So after we were on safari for a little over a week out in Amboseli in the Mara, out in the bush looking for animals, we decided to finish up our time here in Kenya and take a small plane over to the Indian Ocean, so the coastline of Kenya, and spend 3 nights here at Diani Beach. And it is paradise. So Diani is a little bit south of Mombasa, which is the second largest city in Kenya behind Nairobi. But Diani Beach is a little quaint beach town, and we're staying here at the Nomad Beach Resort, which is just beautiful. I'm standing up on our second floor balcony. We've got a cottage here that's right on the beach, and we've had the best time. We're leaving today, but we've had the best time here, just relaxing, enjoying the pool and the beach. That sand out there is the softest sand I have ever put my toes in. It is like next level sand.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, the sky is falling down.
We also took a little boat ride on a traditional wooden Dhow boat out to a sandbar yesterday and did some snorkeling and looking for sea creatures. We rode camels yesterday on the beach. We left the resort once to go out to dinner to the nicest restaurant here in Diani, which is inside a cave, which was really fun. I can surely say that I never thought I would say the sentence that we're going to eat a fancy dinner tonight in a cave in Kenya, but it was amazing. But otherwise, we just stayed here at the Nomad Beach Resort. that's a wrap from Diani Beach and from our entire 2+ week epic adventure in Kenya. Hey, this is future Kelly, here to say, actually, that's not quite the end of the trip. We left Diani that day. We hopped on a small plane back to Nairobi, where we spent one more night, and our flights home weren't until really late at night the following evening. And so that left us with almost an entire day to spend in Nairobi, continuing to explore. So we worked with Spirit of Kenya. Originally, we were going to just move around the city on our own that day and see some things, but after the political unrest and everything else that had transpired, that no longer felt like a great idea. So we impromptu, kind of over the course of the trip, messaged with Spirit of Kenya and said, hey, could we have a guide and a driver for this last day? Here's a few things that we want to see. And they were very accommodating. And so we had Moses, who we had met a few times throughout the trip, who works for Spirit of Kenya, and he was our driver and guide that last day. Picked us up from the hotel. We had checked out. We had all of our luggage. And we had a whole list of things that we could see in and around Nairobi before heading to the airport late that night. So our big priority, and we had pre-booked tickets to go to an elephant orphanage there in Nairobi, which is part of a conservation where the folks at this orphanage rescue small elephants that have been abandoned or injured, as well as other kind of large animals, and take care of them. They rehab them and ideally release them back out into the wild. And there's a certain period of time that you can go visit the elephant orphanage every day and watch them do feedings. And so we knew we wanted to see that. We had bought the tickets in advance, and so that was where we headed first. And it was the coolest thing. We got to be right up at the ropes where the people that worked there kind of invited these elephants out, and they drank from these ginormous bottles. And it was just so cool watching them eat, and they would walk by and you could see them and you could touch them and kind of pet them across the ropes. And they shared more information about the different elephants and their stories and how old they were and where they were found and where they are in their rehabilitation. And it was so neat. And as an extra special surprise, at the elephant orphanage, we got to see a tiny baby rhino. Now, we didn't see any rhinos when we were officially out on safari, much to the disappointment of a few folks in our family. But now we can say we did see a rhino in Africa at the elephant orphanage. So we didn't just get to see a rhino, we got to actually touch and pet the rhino as he came by the ropes. Now this little guy, he had been rescued after he was left abandoned and injured, and they've been working to rehab him for a couple of years now. He's still very small for his age, but what a treat it was. And get to pet him and interact with the staff there and just learn about all they're doing to help these animals that can't help themselves. So from the elephant orphanage, there were a few other things that we could do that day. So Moses took us to a bead factory, which was a really neat place. And when we say factory, it's where they make beads, but it was a just really cool environment. It was largely run and operated by women who walked us through all the different steps that they go through to go from clay to beautiful painted beads that can be used as jewelry and ornaments and keychains and you name it. And so we got to watch their whole process, and then of course go shopping and bring home some really special souvenirs. So that was really a cool, relatively quick stop along our way. And then it was off to see giraffes. And I don't know if you maybe have seen people that have traveled to Kenya stay at this really famous place called Giraffe Manor, which is a really small boutique, very prestigious hotel where you can sit at breakfast and feed giraffes out the window. It looks amazing. We have not stayed there, but we've watched videos and seen it. We went to the Giraffe Center, which is on the same property. So the same giraffes that go up to Giraffe Manor also visit this Giraffe Center, where you get to go and learn about giraffes, and you get to feed giraffes from these really tall platforms. And oh, how fun. It was so great. Us and the kids, we all got some giraffe food that we got to sit there and dole out and feed these giraffes. That we were on an elevated platform, so you were pretty much eye to eye with these giraffes coming up to eat. Some of them were more docile than others. We learned quickly which ones to be hanging out with, that were better with kids, but it was so fun. It was also really fun to get to peek up and see Giraffe Manor. It might be the closest we ever get to Giraffe Manor. We'll see. Who knows what the future holds. But that was a really fun stop. And then our final stop of that day was at a cultural center. And this was kind of an impromptu add-on to the day because we had some time to kill in between then and when we were heading to dinner in the airport. And it was really special. So Moses suggested that we go here. We first went into a big kind of auditorium type area where there were elevated seats and a platform or a stage down in the middle. And we sat there with Moses and got to watch all kinds of dances, tribal dances of different ethnic groups that call Kenya home. And it was really cool to get to see the different ways that those tribal groups represented themselves and their culture through what they were wearing and the dances they were doing and the instruments they were using. And the room was actually filled with tons of school students from different local kids that were on field trips. And so that was really fun to get to watch them watch and interact with this experience as well. After we watched a whole bunch of dances, we went outside and they had all these authentic homesteads built around there for all of the different tribes of Kenya. And so you could walk around and get to experience what those tribes, the type of environments and communities that they lived in maybe in the past, and in some cases that those tribes still occupy and live in today. And it was really neat to have Moses there with us, who could tell us about when he was a kid and how he grew up in some of these environments that were very much like the areas we were walking through. And it's neat to see the areas that were the tribes that his family and ancestors were from. So we had this really special guided tour through those areas. And so that was really neat and fun. And then our final stop of the day, we packed a lot in. Our final stop of the day was dinner. There's this really famous restaurant in Nairobi called Carnivore, which is exactly what it sounds like. Meat, lots and lots of meat of different types. They're known for kind of their more exotic meats. And so they come around kind of like a Brazilian steakhouse of sorts, but they bring around all the meats and you say yes or no, and they load you up with that and then sides. So it was a really nice way to fuel up before we got on a plane to come home. And it was really fun to get to try some exotic foods, and the kids were really troopers in being adventurous with what they were eating. And to make it extra special, we invited Moses to come and join us for dinner. And it was great getting to sit there and enjoy his company and listen to more stories of life in Nairobi and Kenya from him as we enjoyed our feast of meats there for dinner. Okay, so that's enough of future Kelly. Back to Kelly on Diani Beach.
So thanks for coming along. If an African safari in Kenya haven't been on your bucket list, you need to run and put them on your bucket list now. But until next time, thanks for following along, and we'll see you on the next adventure.